Welcome everybody, let's get started. Our DG, Dr. Jacqueline Hughes, the DDG ICRISAT, Dr. Arvind Kumar, our guest today, Dr. Rajiv Vashni, the outgoing director of the research program, Accelerated Crop Improvement, all members of the RLT here present, colleagues, staff in your various capacities, we recognize you. All protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, and have a good day. Welcome to the farewell event in honor of Dr. Rajiv Vashni. And on behalf of this research program, I want to deeply thank you for accepting our invitation to this occasion. We are honored to host you for the next 1 hour. Today we meet to thank and bid farewell to Dr. Rajiv Vashni for his distinguished service to ICRISAT and the world over the past 16 years out of our India headquarters. Distinguished guests, Dr. Rajiv joined ICRISAT in 2005 as a senior scientist and has over the years served the Institute in a diligent and distinguished manner, rising to senior research leadership positions both at ICRISAT and globally. During his tenure at ICRISAT, Dr. Rajiv built one of the CGIAR's and indeed one of the world's leading agricultural research programs, pioneering and leading in the development of advanced genetic tools, genomics, translational research, especially of underinvested dryland legumes and cereals. Our guests, in order for you to get a better flavor of our colleagues' contribution to ICRISAT and the world, may I invite you for a short video highlighting Dr. Rajiv's 16-year journey that has been prepared by us colleagues. So at this moment, I want to invite Nilesh to just share a small video that highlights some of the progress that he has made contributing to ICRISAT. Over to you, Nilesh, please. Go ahead, Nilesh. So our distinguished guests, Nilesh, you may stop sharing. Our distinguished guests, we present to you Dr. Rajiv Vashni, who has served us for 16 years. And you've all been able to see some of the things that he has done. A wonderful person to work with, a mentor, a great scientist, and one of the slides showed him as a great father and friend too. We will always miss his laughter. With that, I would like to invite our Director General to say some words to us, and subsequently we'll have our Deputy Director General, then members of the research leadership team, and then the rest of us will follow. May I at this moment, can you join me to welcome our Director General to share with us her thoughts. Welcome, Dr. Jacqueline. Over to you.
Thank you. And I bet Rajiv is wondering what on earth I'm going to say. So one of the key things I've noted, the video had so much on it, but the one thing I've realized is that when you stay in one location for any length of time, you get all those images of the really young Rajiv moving on until you get the Rajiv that you see here. I also hope your flight to Australia was not as bouncy as that image implied. So it's almost a pity that someone has to leave before you find out all the details about them. And there were some details that were not made known. I had always known that Rajiv came from Gattersleben. I always knew that, and I knew it was Bali. So it was the move from Bali in 2005 to ICRISAT and contributing to the drylands and trying to move from, or the understanding of the academics of functional genomics and so on, to improving the livelihoods of the poor is not always an easy jump mentally, because you've got all those wonderful journal articles, Rajiv, and yet when we talked, you had those people in mind, those poor in the drylands. And I think that's a very difficult mental jump. So all credit to you, Rajiv, for making that jump mentally. After I arrived, Rajiv and I had at least one difficult discussion and several other discussions after that. And I remember saying to you, at some point, don't get tunnel vision onto that limited number of crops. ICRISAT's truly important crops. And I remember discussing with you, how long does one stay in one place? When should one move on and take that scary step to move on? And we started that discussion, and eventually talking with Arvind as well, you took a decision to move. And I don't think it's a bad decision at all, because it will allow you to progress in your career and allow us to continue working with you as we move forward. And I was looking at the range of crops apart from that beloved barley. And it's been the pigeon pea, the chickpea, peanut, pearl millet, sesame, mung bean, azuki bean. Wow, that huge amount of work. And what I'm particularly looking forward to, apart in more diverse thinking from your different colleagues. It'll be interesting for you. I think the leadership roles that you have at Murdoch and with the State Agricultural Biotechnology Centre, Centre for Crop and Food Innovations, it'll make it easier for us to work together, and I'll treasure those opportunities for us to work together moving forwards. You're going to come at it from a totally different angle, and we'll come at it with the same angle that you know, but slightly different. And I think there's a win-win for all of us. A win for Rajiv, a win for ICRISAT, a win for Murdoch, a win for Australia, a win for India and globally. So looking forward to continuing working with you, Rajiv. Keep in touch. Wishing you all the best. And I'm hoping your accent won't change too quickly. So thank you very much for everything we've been discussing together, the opportunities, and looking forward to continuing to work with you and keeping in touch. Good luck, Rajiv.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our DG, Jackie, for those words of wisdom, and more importantly, the need for us to always focus on win-win situations in whatever we do, so that collectively we can move forward. Without wasting much time, I'd like to invite our DDG also to address the event. Welcome, Dr. Kumar.
Thank you, Patrick. Hi, Rajiv.
Hello, sir.
I started thinking what I should talk and from where I should start. To all the colleagues here, we know each other from the time that probably
Not able to hear Dr. Arvind.
We seem to have a challenge with Arvind.
I think let me just go across to his office and see if he's got a hotspot. Patrick, just keep talking.
Okay. All right. So colleagues, it's an interesting event. I would like to encourage the rest of us to say some words of, we will not all have time to. Rav is a very friendly person. I'll miss taking you to Handy Restaurant, but when you come over. But anyway, colleagues, without much ado, in order to make use of the time, some of us may be leaving, but I wanted to invite those who are available, members of the RLT, please. We could go ahead and say something. Shalanda, you told me you would be leaving shortly. Could you go ahead?
Thank you very much. First of all, nice to see you, Rajiv. And first of all, I just also want to say the same thing which this film is saying, that you really made us proud. And I really know very little about your subject, but we feel very proud that someone from our institute is so highly recognized globally and also in India. And first of all, for that, bringing that recognition, and also we also shared that recognition, though you were working, but we also shared, and we felt that we are also part of that that glory which you brought to this institution. This is one I wanted to say to you. And I haven't really worked with Rajiv too much, but he has been a great friend and personally very friendly behavior right from the beginning. I think almost more than 8 years. And on many personal and professional, I have discussed with him, and he has been always supportive. And to support within ICRISAT and outside ICRISAT, any suggestion he will give me. And he was a friend. He's a friend. So always very good suggestions and very good support. And also in 1 or 2 occasions, we try to work together. Very methodical, and even for a small thing, we had a lot of discussions. And then I really liked that whole thing, the way Rajiv used to work, but with very little experience working with him. And we are really proud as ICRISAT, and also as an Indian. You have made us proud, I would say, that you have brought so much recognition to the institutions and to the community where we are part of. So I wish you all the best, and we will be in touch for sure.
Thank you, Shalanda. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our DDG is back. Arvind, please, you have the floor.
I hope you can hear me.
Loud and clear, sir. Go ahead.
Sorry for all that without any of my fault. Okay, so as I was saying that I and Rajiv were interacting a lot in the Generation Challenge program, where we were working on different crops, but on the same trait, drought tolerance, and that is where which brought us together. And if you see the research that we have done, more or less, the progress in chickpea and rice have moved in the same way. And then we started talking about different projects, proposals, and I remember that one incident when we were talking about the new breeding scheme. Rajiv, I hope you remember that we sat in your house when I was at IRI. I came from IRI and said we were there for 3-4 hours talking about the breeding scheme. And when I visited Rajiv as an ICRISAT employee, I think last month, I asked him which room was that where we sat for 3-4 hours, that discussion on breeding scheme. So that is how we work together. But then once I joined ICRISAT, the association that I had with him earlier allowed me to settle down. And we worked really very closely over a year, writing several proposals, connecting with different donors. And even though DG was knowing, I was knowing, he was knowing that he had an opportunity with Mudrock, he will move, we continued working. And when we made that announcement that Rajiv will leave at the end of 2021, I tell you, Rajiv, that many of your staff came to me that why don't you stop him? And I said, we did everything that was possible, and I'm thankful to him that he stayed with us for a year. So thank you, Rajiv, for everything, all the friendship, all the associations where we work together, right from the Generation Challenge program to up to now. And in fact, we look forward to work together again in several of the projects that you started. We will need your advice, suggestions. And as DG said, that we need to create new opportunities with together with Mudrock University, where we can work together. Thank you for taking the genomic research for these smaller crops to that international level. And that is one credit which I really, I would say Rajiv can become inspiration for everybody working on rice, wheat, maize, and having those research, and then working on these smaller crops where you don't have the genomic information is something different. And Rajiv did place chickpea, pigeon pea, pearl millet, sorghum, and other smaller millets crops at the international level for the genomic research. And the international community will be benefited from that. So we look forward, Rajiv, to continue working together in one way or the other. Our all best wishes to you for your great future, to your family for a healthy, prosperous, and good stay in Australia. And we wish that you keep on visiting us, and we also wish that you keep on inviting our staff visiting you, and we keep working together in one way or the other, and we keep connected. Thank you very much for all your contribution to ICRISAT research, and we will take that forward in the best possible way that we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.